with us. Nice to have you with us, Dr. Art.
We stand on guard for these.
There you go. We got a lot of stuff to get to, so let's do it off the bat. And this first one I found quite interesting, and we're talking about heart attack survival in where you live. It varies on where you live, obviously.
Yeah.
I have a theory on this, but you go ahead first.
Tell me your theory.
My theory is that it compared basically Alabama is one of the places where it happens more than Seattle,
right?
And it's a lot hotter in Alabama. It face more rain in Seattle, that area. So your heart isn't stressed as much.
Yeah, and maybe they wait a lot longer to call the unit in Alabama, so they're a lot further along the road to not surviving than they are in Seattle. There are a lot of differences, and I'm glad you pointed that out, because when you look at raw numbers, you say, gee, I'd rather way rather have a heart attack in Seattle, say, than in Alabama. Vancouver came off pretty well, by the way. It was about 10% survival rate, which was pretty good. Seattle was way up there with 16%, and Alabama, as you said, was around 3 or 3.5. But the difference is there are a lot of differences in the demographics, a lot of differences in how people respond to the emergency. You want to believe that we have much better people up here, and our emergency services are much better. That's probably part of it, but there are other differences as well.
All right, let's talk to those folks who are suffering from sinusitis, and apparently honey is helpful.
Yeah, this was a terrific study from the University of Ottawa, but I got to tell you right off the top, it wasn't your regular honey. If you have sinusitis, you don't go sniffing clover honey. That's not going to do the trick. They were able to show in the lab that honey from the tea tree, you know, tea tree oil, people peddle it for everything. Well, apparently that tea tree also makes honey. I had no idea. And another kind of honey from another bush, that was able to retard the growth of some pretty resistant bacteria. So, you know, that bodes well for the future. We desperately need more antibiotics, and if they can find what is in those trees, in that honey that does it, hey, maybe we'll come up with better antibiotics for MRSA, methicillin-resistant staph, which was one of the bacteria they looked at.
All right, the next topic you want to talk about is those folks that are maybe trying to have kids. They may not want to put the cell phone in the pocket.
Yeah, well, the women, we're not going to talk to them, but the guys, yeah, this was a tiny study, and it certainly doesn't tell you that your fertility is reduced, but they were able to show that cell phones give off at a distance that how should we put this delicately for the new news? At a distance, when you put the cell phone in your pocket, how close that is to your family jewels. At that distance, the cell phone, the radiation it gives off could affect the way semen, the way sperm swims, and the kind of damage that sperm might suffer. So their advice is, well, hey, we need a much bigger study, but in the meantime, if you want to have kids, don't stuff your cell phone in your pocket, which I think is good advice anyway, amen?
Now, I know you are a big advocate of washing your hands.
Yeah.
You say it's such a preventative measure. Apparently, they're not listening to you in the United States.
Yeah, but remember, consider the source. This is a survey from the Detergent Association, or one of those kind of groups, and they don't think, you know, even if we were washing our hands continuously, they wouldn't be happy. But the bottom line is that according to their numbers, people don't wash often enough after, say, coughing into their hands, which I think you should do, try to do as frequently as you can, or after shaking a lot of other people's hands, you should wash your hands. They claim we're not doing it nearly often enough, according to the survey. Hard to argue with that. I think we're entering flu and cold season. One of the best preventive measures is to wash your hands frequently. Do it, folks. Real simple, and you know, it beats getting sick, right?
Well, what's interesting, I found interesting about the survey is they talked about teachers in particular, and they said 97% of teachers knew that washing your hands prevent colds and flus, yet 91% of those people decided to wash their hands.
Yeah, well, you know, they know it's supposed to work. They don't all do it. We don't always do what we think is right, but the teachers did way better than the average population, so good on the teachers. But hey, we should all be doing that. Easy stuff to do.
All right, Doctor, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.